Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I'm merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 10 of discs. Oh my goodness. That is a great way to begin. I don't think it could get any better than that. And the 6 of discs. Whew. All right. I got to calm down a little bit. This is going to be very, very productive. Also, if there's anything you need me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Now we're going to continue with the path of the serpent here, and this is where we might see a challenge or two. So we need to look at all of this energy. All right. So please stick around. We're going to do our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're using the Smith Waite deck for this one. And we're just going to select a card, set it aside, frog on top. We're not going to look at that until the very end. And hopefully that card will, tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end. So, major arcana, we have 2 of them. We've got earth, earth, earth. We've got water, water, water. And a little bit of air and a little bit of fire. Okay, so we've got everything we need. I'm just not sure about the air and the fire here, really. Okay, because those are some interesting, unique kind of prominent energies in that they kind of stand out by themselves over here. So we're going to take a look at those. First, though, 10 of discs, pentacles, diamonds, coins, wheels. This is a real focus on of manifestation, crystallizing your intention, your will, achieving your goals. This is the Holy Land, right? This is finding the buried treasure. This is you sitting on top of a pile of money, or like a Donald Duck thing, kind of swimming in a pool filled with money, right? This is the state of being wealthy. Now, being wealthy doesn't just mean money and coin, right? We're wealthy in a lot of ways, okay? And I think this card, while it is telling you that, look, you're going to come into tremendous success, I feel like this is that lottery card, right? This is you kind of hitting the jackpot big time, all right? First card that comes out. Last card that comes out, Empress energy. So first, we can take these 2 cards together and say, you're getting all of this wealth. What are you going to do with it? Right? How are you going to share your gift? How are you going to take care of people? How are you going to express yourself with all of this money? Right? What are you going to be creating? What are you going to be building? What are you going to be erecting, giving form to, producing, right? What are you going to be taking care of with this money? How are you going to put it to good use, to be of service to people, to share that gift with others? Now, I'm not saying you got to give all your money away. Don't be silly. But I think it needs to, in some way, work for the benefit of at least your family, your loved ones, your pets, your plants, your people, your community. What are you going to do with that wealth? Okay. That's what these 2 cards mean. But how do we get from one to the other? How do we get all the way from this 10 of discs to that Empress energy? We've got to go through all of this water, first of all. We've got to talk about the earth energy and see, well, okay, how are you getting this jackpot? Now, I should rephrase that. I don't think you're winning the lottery. I think you're doing something that is paying off. I think it's through your own efforts, okay? Because of these other earth cards that we have, the 3 and the 6 of discs, coins, pentacles, diamonds, it's through your efforts, your skills, your talents, your hard work. Okay? But we see some water energy kind of crossing all of these earth cards kind of have this water attached to them too, right? So next to the 10 of discs, we've got a 4 of cups. You're going to have all this wealth. You still don't feel all that satisfied. There still seems to be a boredom almost. It's like we're just not having very much fun with it. This is curious. This is maybe just trying to kind of tell you that, look, even though you may have all the money you need, it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to give you such joy that cannot be diminished. You know, it may be the temporary filling of a desire, satisfying of a desire, but it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to, you know, fulfill all of your desires. It's not going to make you desire less. So having this wealth, having this money, this achievement, whatever this 10 of discs is, it's not going to solve this problem that we have of not really being excited about things. It may excite us for a minute. We've got the 5 of cups down here in a general energy position. But we can go back and forth. It may excite us for a minute, but then we're kind of right back to a 4. We just go 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, back and forth. A little excitement, a little danger, a little risk, a little party, and then back to just being kind of bored with it. So this is curious. And I think this is something that we need to work through to get to that Empress. That Empress, not only is that you sharing your gift, but that's you feeling the love. That's you really being happy and joyful and excited because there's love and affection all over the place. That's what we need. This water energy here is not satisfying, right? The temporary joy that we get from money or possessions or this sort of thing is not a lasting, eternal kind of joy, right? And then we've got this 6 of discs. You're achieving this through cooperation. You're achieving this success. It could be a business, could be like some kind of a talent. You could be like really like breaking out in some creative endeavor. Something's really working out for you, okay? It could be your YouTube channel's really taking off and blowing up. Whatever it is, it's through your own efforts, but it's through partnership, it's through cooperation, it's through the kind of the proper organization of people. Right? The right people at the right place at the right time. And I think that it's really, it speaks to your level of organization. I feel like you're kind of you're a people person, but in a very professional way, right? You know how to organize people. You know how to get things together. You know how to get all of the different energies, you know how to time everything right, you know how to get everybody in the same room at the same time and get them to focus on business, right? I think that's one of your skills. I think that you like being part of a group. I think that you like having people around you. You like having like maybe an entourage, you know? You like sharing your gifts with your loved ones, and that's a lot of that Empress energy that we see at the end. So it's kind of like when you are successful, everyone around you is too. And everyone around you being successful helps you to be even more successful. So everybody's kind of coming up together, right? I think that's a big part of who you are. Now, directly opposite that, there is a tendency for these kind of mood swings where sometimes we may feel like we don't really understand what we're doing or why we're doing it. It just doesn't feel good anymore. It feels like maybe it feels inauthentic, right? Maybe it doesn't have the joy or the pleasure that it once had. But this fluctuates. It's a glass half full some days, a glass half empty other days, right? Some days we're really feeling the love. Other days it seems like everybody's just out for themselves and there's no love in the room. And this is something that I think we need to work on. This is at the top of the path of the dove, so that tells me that it's a prominent thing, and that's where a lot of our focus needs to go. Into why we feel that fluctuation in the water energy and what to do about that. Okay. I'll tell you right now, there's no solutions here. The tarot is not going to tell you what to do about that, right? It's presenting energies to you, and then it's up to you to really kind of decide what to do with them, to listen to them and feel them and acknowledge them, or you could reject the energy, right? You don't have to believe it. But you do have to kind of choose your own adventure here, right? And that's what we see with the Chariot card here. And I'm kind of skipping around a little bit. This is your environment. This is your dynamic. This is your relationship to your environment. You're choosing your own adventure. You're doing something, the work that you did or that you're doing, the skill or talent that you are monetizing, basically, what you're succeeding at is not like a traditional thing. You didn't just get a job and work your way up the ladder. It's something different. This card is about something different, right? This card is also about you understanding what your natural talents were and using them, getting good at it, doing it, you know? So this makes me curious, what are you all doing out there? You know, what is your talent that you're now refining? What is, maybe it's something that you thought was a weakness or a handicap even, but now you realize that this is your greatest asset. And this is what's going to really kind of push you into your own, well, your own Empress energy. I was going to say your own stardom, but we don't have the star card yet. Maybe the mystery card will be the star card. So what is this for you? And this is learning to use what you already have, right? Even if you thought it may have been a weakness, using it to your advantage and choosing your own adventure, going off and forging your own way through the forest to get to the Empress's house, let's say, right? You've got to create your own path. And that, I think, is that's what you're doing. And the Three of Discs here in the future position or the way forward, the way all of this progresses is through you refining this skill or talent or your ability or your creativity or the work that you're doing, what you thought was a weakness, whatever this is, getting good at it, practicing, refining it, getting better, being smart, committing yourself to developing this, and you're going to be recognized for it. Your hard work and your achievements, people are going to notice. People can see what you're doing and how much progress you're making. And they can see how you're excelling at this. And this is what is propelling you forward. So you keep doing this. This is like the propeller on the front of an airplane. You know, it's not pushing you. It's just kind of pulling you along, right? You're using the air to kind of pull the airplane forward. It's not like a thruster at the back. We have one of those, right? We've got this fire behind us. But this is the propeller in front of us, pulling us forward, pulling your ship forward. Behind us, what is giving us the kind of propulsion is this Queen of Wands. Now, who is this person? This may be a fire sign person in your life. Maybe they're not quite a fire sign. You know, they could actually be a water sign person, now that I think about it. Because I feel like in some way they're the fuel that is now in your combustion engine. It is this, you know, what do they say in like Jack Parsons and the whole rocket science stuff, you know, jet propulsion. It's like a solid fuel or something that ignites and it creates this tremendous thrust, and then we can kind of reach escape velocity and get out into space and do our thing. So I feel like this is your solid fuel rocket booster, you know. I don't know if this is a person. Maybe it's a significant other. Maybe this is like a mom or a grandma. I'm kind of getting an older feminine energy from them. I'm not sure if it's fire or water, but I think the fire and water combination is this idea that this fuel needs to ignite and push you forward, that it is your dynamic with this person that is motivating you to go forward, right? This is pushing you. Whereas your own skill and talent and the recognition, the confirmation from the universe that you are making progress, this is pulling you forward. Your relationship and dynamic with this person is pushing you forward, right? So this could be someone who is encouraging you, who keeps literally like pushing you to keep going. They may not be a fire or a water sign. It could be just talking about the combustion of this fuel. But they might be either fire or water. They could be a water sign. Since you are Sagittarius, maybe you're the fire in this card. And the water could be, something like a Cancer or maybe Scorpio, but I kind of feel a Cancer vibe here, especially with this Chariot card that we have here. Again, suggesting Cancer. But they're the push that you need. They're pushing you forward. Okay, so this is really, really lovely. We still have to deal with this water energy because I feel like it's still, our mood is not stable right now. You know what I mean? Some days we're just so excited. Maybe we're overjoyed. We're so hopeful and optimistic. Other days it's like, I'm not doing so good. Things are slow, don't have enough business or customers, or there's just a lot of delays, or I just can't seem to paint this thing the right way. Whatever it is that you do, there are going to be good days and bad days. There are going to be ups and downs. Some days are going to seem very successful, very productive. Other days are going to seem like, man, I should quit, And that's where the Two of Swords comes in. We don't want that. We don't want the Two of Swords. We don't want to have to choose every day to keep going. We want this just to be, we want to just go with the momentum. We want to be in our kayak, in the river, and the river is just taking us where we're going. We don't want to have to choose every moment, am I going to stay in the boat? But we do. We have to. Every day we wake up, we have to say, I'm going to do it again today. Even when we're going through this cup energy, this water energy, we have to choose every day, I'm going to do it. Right? Or you choose not to do it. But the idea that we don't want the choice, that we just want everything to kind of happen for us, that's a dream. Right? That is not reality. I think it needs to be a daily, or if not a by the minute, recommitment, affirmation to ourselves, a statement of intent, an oath, a promise, an invocation, right? A word of power that we're going to do this again today. Even when I'm down in this Eight of Cups and it's miserable, I'm going to do it again today. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to quit. We're not going to relinquish control and just say, well, whatever happens, happens. Yeah, I understand that sentiment. But in this case, because of this water energy, it would be very easy to just kind of succumb, to yield to this water energy and give up. Just say, well, this is the way the universe is. I accept the universe the way it is, and I'm just gonna give up, right? So because of the nature of this water energy, in this instance, I'm saying, don't just trust the universe and say, whatever will be, will be. No, you make the decision every day that you're going to keep doing this. Okay? That you're going to stay on this track because you want to get to this Empress. Healthy, happy, sharing your gift, feeling the love, permanent. Not just this kind of transiting water, love, joy, pleasure comes and goes, party and then boredom. This is a lasting love and joy that you will find even in the ups and downs of the work that you do and the life that you're leading. There's always going to be ups and downs, good days, bad days. but you're finding this lasting joy. And I really feel like this is in the connection with your people, with life, with nature, with your plants and your pets, right? All of this stuff. Even though people come and go, even though some days people seem like they're very connected, other days people seem like they're just out for themselves, you will be in this Empress energy in a permanent, semi-permanent way, right? And this is the goal. And this is you knowing that every day you've woken up and you've made the choice to continue with your work, and you continue being pushed and pulled, and you continue kind of building your success, choosing your own path, right? Forging your own way, being unique, finding your own voice, finding your own road, right? Building your own road through this forest. Let's look at the mystery card now. Thank you, Frog, for taking care of that for us. I don't know what this could really be. I'd like to see something along the lines of this 6, but maybe a 6 of Wands, maybe a 6 of Cups, I think. I think a 6 of Cups would be nice. Some very stable water energy. Now, I know the 4 is kind of a stable card because it's a 4. And the 8 is kind of stable, but this is like a stability that we don't really, it's almost like we're going from bad days to just kind of bored, okay days. We're not really going to this really terrific, wonderful experience until we get to the Empress energy. So maybe this will be an improvement in the water area. Indeed it is. 10 of Cups. 10 of Cups. This is achieving the rainbow, right? This is finding the pot of gold. We're right back to the 10 of Pentacles. Finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, right? This is complete fulfillment and satisfaction in every area of your life. This is the best way of the water energy. This is the state of being wealthy in that water energy. Right? Wealthy in love and in connection and in satisfaction. It is really the practical side of the Empress. The Empress is that spiritual archetype that we want. The 10 of Cups is that manifested in your life on a daily. This is really nice. This is lovely. What I want to do now, though, because that confirmation card was just that. It was a very simple, straightforward, but wonderful and beautiful confirmation. I want to do an I Ching card. Now, there are 64 hexagrams in the I Ching representing the wisdom of the ancient Chinese sages and their connection with spirit. And I know this is not the traditional way to cast a hexagram, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I just want to see what kind of wisdom or advice, what kind of questions or thought-provoking aphorisms the I Ching will have for us that we can maybe apply to this situation, right? We get 28, and that is great exceeding. It says the ridgepole warps, so it's fruitful to have a direction to go, creating success. So the ridgepole warps, it means that there's too much weight on that pole. There's too much. If we stay where we are, if we don't move, if we choose not to do this, this water energy is making our tent really sag. Pretty soon, it's going to rip through the fabric of the tent, and we're going to be flooded with all of this emotion, all of this water energy, right? So we have to keep moving. We have to choose to stay on our quest, to choose our own adventure every day, to get to that Empress energy, because if we don't, we're really going to just kind of be crushed by this deluge of all this water. Because, again, the ridgepole warps. There's too much weight. If we stay where we are, it's sagging, right? It's going to break through. It says on the back here, when you exceed something, you cross over a line and make a transition. This brings stress, but also a greatness of spirit and purpose beyond the scope of the situation. Things cannot hold up as they are, like the ridgepole of the traditional Chinese house. So there must be movement. reach out imaginatively and explore. So this is really, about choosing this movement every time and choosing to continue with this work that we're doing to get to our destination, to refine our talents, to use our kind of natural skills or what we thought maybe was a weakness, to use all of this energy to keep moving toward that Empress. Now the questions that it asks here is, what is being overloaded? Well, I think it's an overload of the kind of water energy. The kind of transiting water energy is just a lot of water kind of being poured in, and maybe it washes away, but it's slowly eroding our tolerance level, It also says, what have you outgrown and what must you do? What have you outgrown? That's a question that we didn't really consider. Maybe what we've kind of outgrown is this need, maybe right here, right? With what's pushing us and what's pulling us, right? Maybe now we don't need the push. We don't need to be pulled. Maybe now we're using our own paddles in our own kayak, right? To propel ourselves forward. So maybe we've outgrown this need of relying on others, or for us being maybe too heavily influenced by the emotions of others. Again, some people feel like they're really with you some days. Other days, people are out just for themselves. Maybe these emotions or actions or opinions of others don't need to affect us the way they do all the time. Maybe that's something that we're outgrowing, and we're learning to rely on ourselves. And we have this foundation now, this 10 of discs, 10 of cups, and we don't have to rely so much on the energy of others or the emotion of others, right? So I really like the I Ching, the wisdom of the I Ching. Now, the card does kind of show it's a board of wood, let's say, the center supporting beam of a house that's starting to kind of weaken at the top and at the bottom, and it's kind of like the water that erodes. It's slowly kind of like eroding the wood. It's kind of rotting the wood on both ends until the wood eventually gets so kind of thin and brittle that it's going to break. And I kind of feel like that's what's happening with some of this water energy here. And the way to get out from under that is to maybe learn how to not rely on that energy of other people and their influence, right? Because then we're kind of at the mercy of the feelings or actions of other people. And that, I think, is a little bit counter to what we've been talking about here with this path that you're on. I'm very excited for what you've got going on here. Very interesting reading. A lot of energy to kind of think about and consider. I'm actually going to go back and kind of watch this video myself too, so that I can kind of meditate upon some of the different energies here, because I know there's a lot going on today. Anyway, we're going to do an extended. If you would like to stick around for that, just click up here, and that'll give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Sagittarius, but for all of the zodiac signs. I want to thank you for being here, and thank you for letting me read for you. Thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.